We have to warn you, we are starting with some sobering breaking news here at 5 o'clock and another mass shooting. This one in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police say 3 people were killed in a shooting at the St. Francis Hospital campus. They also say the gunman is dead.
Now, several other people were also injured, though details are still emerging on exactly how many. Our NBC affiliate in the area talked to a woman who says her husband works at the hospital.
So I was at work, and then he messaged me saying there's an active shooter, shots have been fired, and that was all. So I responded, I was like, are you serious? Are you okay? And then I got the little 3 dots to show that he was messaging back, and then it stopped. So I never got a response. So obviously, I freaked out. He has responded that he's okay. They all went down to the basement. He couldn't get very good signal, but obviously, as you know, they've already taken the shooter down.
Really touch and go there. Police now say the gunman took his own life. He entered a medical building with a rifle, then opened fire on the 2nd floor. They are now searching the building room by room for any other potential threats or victims. And this, of course, yet another mass shooting in this country on the heels of the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas last week. And just days before that, the mass shooting at a supermarket in Buffalo.
And we'll continue to update you on the Tulsa situation here on air and on KGW.com as we learn more about what happened. Nightly News will also have new details coming up at 5:30. Now to Portland's homeless crisis. As the city struggles to help people on the streets, violence is now shutting down a homeless village in Old Town. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko, and this has impacts that ripple far beyond the people already living there. Blair Best went to the village today to find out why.
Repeat gun violence in this area of Old Town surrounding this homeless village is one of the reasons those who work and live in this village have felt unsafe. The head of the village ultimately deciding to shut it down in the next couple of weeks.
It simply became too unsafe and untenable for us.
Andy Goebel runs All Good Northwest, a nonprofit providing on-site services such as behavioral health and housing help for people living at 3 of Portland's homeless villages. He says the Old Town village, located on the corner of Northwest 6th and Hoyt, has become too dangerous for both staff and residents.
We've had quite a few incidents of gun violence, some in the immediate proximity of the village. We've had our staff end up being first responders to a shooting.
The Joint Office of Homeless Services, which oversees the village, couldn't find another nonprofit to take over management of the village, forcing them to close it.
That neighborhood is different than it was several years ago, and for an outdoor shelter model, it's a challenging place right now.
They are working to find housing for the more than 40 villagers living at the Old Town location. Potential housing options include motel rooms and new Safe Rest villages.
We're very close to having a place for everyone else to be.
But this closure affects more than just those living inside this fence, like Kurt Love, who was on the village wait list.
I was almost to the top of the list after like 6 months of waiting, and I'm not getting a house now.
As he keeps counting the days until he finds a place to call home, he tries to survive on the streets.
It was almost safe, almost not losing your cell phone or your backpack every night, almost, having a place to like get clean and go to work from, or, consistency.
This setback comes as several other homeless villages are slowly opening across the city, like the one on Southeast Market Street that's adding 120 beds to the more than 1,600 already existing shelter beds in the community.
We are adding village space out in East County. We are looking to develop other congregate spaces, other motel spaces. So in the context, we are still going to see a huge jump in shelter capacity.
Commissioner Dan Ryan's office says in a statement, quote, "The closure of the Old Town Village has no impact on the opening of any Safe Rest villages. We'll be opening the Multnomah Safe Rest Village later this month, with another by the end of the summer."
Anytime there's transition like this, we realize that it's difficult, it's even traumatizing.
These white huts will soon be the new Safe Rest Village here in Multnomah Village, and a handful of the people staying in the Old Town location will move in here. This site opens in a few weeks. Blair Best, KGW News.
It is a significant day in Portland. For the first time in more than 2 years, the city's reopening downtown facilities to the public. Bryant Clerkley is outside the Portland building where they're excited to welcome people back. Bryant.
Hey, yes, the Portland Building and City Hall are open to the public now. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So people still have the option of doing some of these city services online, or they can come into these buildings in person. And a lot of the people that work in the buildings say they're happy to welcome people back. A lot of city services, like I said, will still be online, but people do have the option to come in. City Hall and the Portland Building are open Monday through Friday. People can pay bills, request information, and attend a public meeting in person. Stephanie Saldari works with the Portland Bureau of Transportation. She had an in-person meeting with a coworker today in the Portland Building for the first time.
I get to see everyone, talk to them on the way to getting coffee. I can pass by their desk and catch up, go back to my desk. But it's also nice when the building is just alone, so you have the whole office to yourself.
Masks are optional but encouraged. All visitors are required to check in at the front desk. The city will continue to monitor COVID-19 numbers and adapt to prioritize the health of the community and city employees. And although City Hall is open to the public, offices and bureaus will still decide what days a week they will be open for in-person services. Back to you guys.
Here we are in the new normal. Bryant Clerkley reporting. Thank you, Bryant. Well, today the Portland Bureau of Transportation took ownership of a miles-long stretch of 82nd Avenue. It is a dangerous and notorious stretch of road, and tonight Pibot is promising to make some major improvements when it comes to safety. Let's bring in Mike Benner along 82nd. And Mike, with this particular road, it is hard to know where to start.
Yeah, you can say that, David. For starters, this road here, 82nd, is busy, about 20,000 cars a day. It's also dangerous. We know of more than a dozen deaths in the last 15 years. If there's any street in our area that needs improvement, this would be it. And now it's up to Pibot to get the job done.
82nd Avenue is one of the most dangerous streets in Portland, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't recognize that.
Speeding, yeah, running lights, more aggressive with each other, and frustration with pedestrians. You see a lot of that.
Dan Nodine and his two buddies work off 82nd. All three of them are aware of its issues, as well as the need for upgrades.
A little more space, a little more widening of the roads, maybe.
Ask and you shall receive. Effective Wednesday, the Portland Bureau of Transportation took ownership of 82nd, from Killingsworth on the north end to Clatsop on the south end. The Oregon Department of Transportation will no longer maintain this 7-mile stretch of road.
This is a very big deal. This is coming after decades of activism by the community to make changes on 82nd.
Hannah Schaefer, spokesperson for Pibot, says over the course of the next 4 years, $80 million will go towards improving lighting, pedestrian crossings, and pavement, among other things.
The urgency here is very clear, and we want to make these changes soon and invest quickly so that we can hopefully prevent any future loss of life.
Schaefer's referring to the 19 people who have been killed along 82nd in the last 15 years. She says that's unacceptable, and now Pibot is tasked with ensuring 82nd is safe, something those who use the street welcome.
It might be better managed by the city, in my opinion, because they can kind of see what's going on day to day and make small changes.
All right, so following those critical upgrades in the next 4 years, Pibot will make even more safety improvements to the tune of about $100 million. We understand that the community will have a big say in how that money is invested. And if you'd like to be a part of that process, you can head to our website, KGW.com.